May bagong political formula ba tayo ngayon? Kapag kumontra ka sa administrasyon, hindi ka na lamang sasagutin sa politika. Kakasuhan ka na. At kung plunder ang ihahain, kalayaan mo na mismo ang nakataya. Look at Senator Loren Legarda, Congressman Leandro Leviste, former Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi. They are being investigated over alleged irregularities surrounding solar energy ventures associated with Leviste. At the center of this controversy is Solar Para sa Bayan Corporation, which received a 25-year congressional franchise under Republic Act number 11357 in 2019 to operate distributed energy resources and microgrids in designated underserved areas. Questions are now being raised about the franchise, the subsequent corporate transactions involving Leviste's solar interests, and government energy arrangements during the tenure of then Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi. Fine, investigate. But when you drag Senator Loren Legarda into an accusation as serious as plunder, the Filipino people deserve something more substantial than the fact that Leandro Leviste happens to be her son. Because here is an inconvenient fact. When Solar Para sa Bayan franchise was approved on third reading by the Senate on May 27, 2019, 16 senators voted yes. Loren Legarda's name was not among them. She did not cast the affirmative vote that granted her son's company that franchise. So nasaan ngayon ang overt act ni Loren? Where is the participation? Where is the conspiracy? Where is the evidence that she amassed, acquired, or participated in acquiring ill-gotten wealth? Being Leandro's mother is not a predicate act of plunder. And now look at Leandro himself. He has become one of the most vocal critics of Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. And suddenly, parang buffet na ang investigations. Energy cases, ombudsman investigations. And now even the NBI has dragged his name into an alleged honey trap or sex scandal plot against Recto, supposedly uncovered after a human trafficking operation involving women at a posh hotel in Manila. Leviste denies involvement. But think about the optics. The politician publicly fighting the executive secretary is now being investigated over an alleged scheme supposedly targeting the executive secretary. Hindi ko sinasabing huwag imbestigahan. Ang sinasabi ko, bring evidence, not political coincidence. And then there is Alfonso Cusi, a senior figure of the Duterte-aligned PDP Laban opposition, now also caught in the solar energy investigation because the questioned government energy arrangements happened during his tenure as Energy Secretary. Again, investigate him if there is evidence. But we cannot ignore the political landscape surrounding all three personalities. Legarda is associated with the Senate minority. Leviste openly attacks Recto. Cusi belongs to the Duterte political opposition. And suddenly, all roads lead to criminal investigation. Coincidence? Perhaps. But government cannot demand that Filipinos stop asking questions because political persecution becomes frightening when the weapon is no longer merely privilege, position, or committee assignments. The weapon becomes criminal law, and plunder is particularly dangerous. This is not a parking violation. This is an accusation carrying the possibility of imprisonment and, depending on the evidence of guilt, denial of bail. So when the state invokes its immense prosecutorial machinery against its political opponents, the evidence must be compelling. If Loren Legarda participated in plunder, show us the overt act. If Leandro Leviste stole billions, follow the money. If Alfonso Cusi conspired with anybody, establish the conspiracy. But please, Do not substitute political genealogy for criminal liability. A mother does not become a plunderer merely because her son owns the company being investigated. An opposition politician does not become a criminal merely because he becomes a threat in your Batanggenyo dynasty. And a former cabinet secretary does not lose the presumption of innocence simply because his political party now sits on the opposite side of the fence. This is becoming a disturbing character of Philippine politics. Yesterday, we destroyed reputations. Today, we file non-bailable cases. What happens tomorrow? Because democracy does not require citizens and politicians to agree with Malacanang. Democracy requires government to tolerate dissent, even painful, insulting, and politically inconvenient dissent. And when those who speak against power repeatedly find themselves confronting the coercive machinery of the state, government should not be surprised when Filipinos begin asking, is this really prosecution? Or are we slowly perfecting the art of political persecution through prosecution? Because the most dangerous government is not one that tells its critiques to shut up. It is one that makes them afraid that speaking up could cost them their liberty. Another day, another regal POV.